The dark broadcast. Jacob was just a regular guy sitting alone in his dimly lit apartment, scrolling through the dark web. He had always been curious, drawn to the hidden corners of the internet, where shadows lurked. Tonight, something caught his eye, an ad titled, Exclusive Invitation, Survive the Game. It promised an unprecedented prize, unimaginable wealth to the one who could outlast the competition. Intrigued, Jacob clicked. The screen flickered and a message appeared. You're in. Prepare for the show. His heart raced. It was probably just another sick joke, some twisted game. He shrugged it off, dismissing it as a prank. But curiosity gnawed at him. What harm could it do to investigate a little further? Minutes later, a knock echoed through the apartment door. He froze. No one ever came this late. The hairs on his neck stood up as he cautiously approached, peering through the peephole. There was no one in sight. Confused but unsettled, Jacob opened the door to find nothing but a small, plain envelope. He unfolded it carefully. Inside was a single black card with a crimson symbol, an eye dripping with blood. It read, You're already part of the show. Suddenly, a sharp metallic sound filled the air, and before Jacob could react, everything went black. Jacob awoke to a bright, sterile light. His head throbbed, and the taste of iron coated his mouth. He tried to move, but his body felt heavy, as though bound by invisible chains. The room around him was cold, metallic. His heart pounded in panic as he slowly turned his head to survey his surroundings. It was a large, darkened arena, filled with rows of empty seats. The walls flickered with haunting visuals, faces of strangers who stared at him from the shadows. They were silent, watching, waiting. A booming voice echoed through the room. Welcome to the dark game, Jacob. You've been selected as the star of our newest show. Survive, and you will be rewarded beyond your wildest dreams. Fail, and your death will be the entertainment. Jacob's eyes widened as a massive screen above him lit up. It showed his own terrified face, broadcasted live to countless viewers. The screen flickered again, and a new message appeared. The game begins now. Before Jacob could process, a heavy door creaked open, and figures in dark, hooded robes stepped into the arena. They moved with eerie precision, surrounding him. A voice whispered in his ear, Run, if you want to survive. Jacob bolted, his legs finally responding as adrenaline coursed through his veins. He sprinted down the cold metal corridors, glancing behind him. The hooded figures were closing in, their footsteps echoing, synchronized with his racing heartbeat. Suddenly, a voice rang out from above. Jacob, don't run, you're already trapped. He stumbled, his vision blurring. He saw a small monitor on the wall, displaying a countdown. 10 minutes remaining. Panic surged through him. There was no escape. This was real. This wasn't some sick joke. It was a twisted game of life and death. The hooded figures surrounded him. One of them stepped forward, holding a sharp knife. The audience wants blood, it whispered. Jacob gasped, the weight of his situation sinking in. The knife was raised, ready to strike. But before it could fall, the lights above him flickered again, and the entire arena shifted. The walls began to close in on him, the space narrowing, the claustrophobia creeping in. He was trapped. Please, he pleaded, his voice cracking. Let me go. I'll do anything. But it was too late. The figure with the knife smiled, a cruel and unholy grin. This is your fate, Jacob, and millions are watching. The room fell silent, save for the hum of the cameras and the distant cheers from the unseen audience. The countdown on the screen ticked down to 0. Jacob's heart stopped. With a final scream, the darkness swallowed him whole. The next day, the broadcast continued. Jacob's face flashed across the screen, his final moments a horrifying spectacle for millions to witness. The show was already preparing for the next contestant, and the invitation was still out there, waiting for someone else to click.